Audio article by the Common Constitutionalist entitled London Vehicle Attacker Osborne is a Tool of ISIS. Ramadan, the Muslim holy month, is soon coming to a close, and what a month it has been. Record-setting, in fact. There have been more deaths and more casualties in 2017 than any Ramadan month prior. In fact, as Breitbart writes, the deaths have more than tripled that of 2016 and injuries have doubled. Then there is the singular event which has attracted so much press attention of the whack-job white guy in London who used a van to mow down several Muslims exiting a mosque. Of the incident, the Atlantic penned a piece entitled An Attack from the ISIS Playbook. They're right about that. No doubt this dirtbag Darren Osborne got the idea of using a vehicle from the recent Islamist attacks. However, the liberal Atlantic had to add a subtitle to the piece which reads, "The London attack seems to fit with a pattern of growing attacks on Muslims both in Europe and in the United States." They write the attack by the white guy in London was, quote, right out of the ISIS playbook, unquote, for the following reasons. The attacker was a man, apparently acting alone. He took as his weapon a simple van, ramming it into people in an attempt to kill them, and he obeyed the command from ISIS spokesman Abi al-Hassan al-Muhajir, whatever, to strike civilian targets in the West during the holy month of Ramadan. Then they write that there was one crucial difference, of course. The attacker was trying to kill Muslims. Yeah, he was. That was his whole point. He was even reported to have said he wanted to kill all the Muslims. This is not only not a crucial difference, but barely a difference at all. The vast majority of deaths and destruction perpetrated by ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram, Al-Shabaab, the Taliban, etc., 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 over the last month have been against other Muslims who were just not Muslim enough. But until now, it has been the relative few but horrific attacks on the West that have garnered the most press. In a mistakenly prescient statement, British Prime Minister Theresa May stated Monday morning that, quote, "This was an attack on Muslims near their place of worship, and like all attacks of terrorism, it seeks to drive us apart," unquote. This is one of those rare times when a politician is both dead wrong and simultaneously incredibly insightful. That's a tough feat to pull off, especially for a politician. They are usually just wrong and rarely insightful, especially the ones of the European variety. She is right that this was an attack on Muslim, but his aim was not to separate us, but to kill all Muslims. Again, he said so. However, the second half of her statement is the prescient part, and it's doubtful she even knows why. It probably just sounded good. ISIS, and more than likely the other major terror groups, does in fact want to separate us. Ryan Marrow at the Clarion Project explains that separating us is exactly the plan of the Islamists. He says that the majority of Muslims throughout the world live in a gray zone, not necessarily loyal to the West, but also not supporting the Islamists. ISIS in particular has urged their followers to attack the West with abandon. Although the few attacks have been horrific, they have had little effect overall in conquering the West. But this attack on seemingly innocent gray zone Muslims is just what the Hakim, or doctor, ordered, a non-Muslim seeking revenge on the Muslim community. ISIS describes this as the extinction of the gray zone plan. The real purpose of the Islamist plan is to increase attacks on non-Muslims in the West. This, they hope, will goad wackos like Osborne into indiscriminately striking back, causing an anti-Muslim backlash. The hope, then, is this will in turn drive or further separate these millions of gray zone Muslims from the West and align themselves with the Islamists. Osborne and those like him is actually acting as a tool of ISIS. Thank you for listening.